1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Hip Hop Talks and Mirror Music. I'm Andrew. That's Coop, and this is the review. Tonight, we are going to do two records that have come out in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. One from the God MC Rakim, and one from Joey Badas. So, what's up, man? How are you doing?
It's been tumultuous the last few weeks.
It has, for different reasons for both of us, but yes.
Yes, different reasons for both of us, but yes, like I could go on and on, but it's definitely been trying, but worth the effort and the grind and everything that you go through and all the work that you put in. You know, to quote Amber Mark, I put in all the work, been down in all the dirt.
True story.
True story. And we're talking about two MCs, one from Long Island and one from Brooklyn, who are respective trendsetters for their generation. And so we're going to discuss their two projects and what our thoughts and feelings are about those. We are going to start with Rakim.
Yes.
So the Rakim project is mostly produced by Big Ghost Ltd. I'm familiar with them from some of the work they've done with Conway the Machine and Griselda, which is how I feel like some of these guest appearances actually happened as well, which I actually thought was a good idea. Album's titled The Re-Up. I did find this project, Andrew, to be much better than the last project that he released earlier this year.
I agree.
That wasn't it. This is a little bit more of a closer approximation to what I was expecting, but I still have reservations.
Yeah, it's what it is. My initial note, like I read about it after I listened to it a couple times, and it's like,
when you say you read about it, can you
songs from like other what now?
When you're saying that you read about it, can you like elaborate a little further?
No, like I read just like the basic structure of the album is he's like pulling songs from. It's a compilation album, and they remastered some of them and reproduced some of them and remixed some of them. And there are only, I think, a couple new songs on here that have not been released elsewhere, which is not hilarious, but I am proud of my ear, because the first note that I wrote about this the first time I heard it was like, obviously I know Follow the Leader, and obviously I know Paid in Full, but based on y'all's commentary on the recent Rakim projects, I was not coming into this with very high expectations, respectfully. And it definitely exceeded my expectations, but I also don't know that I would call it necessarily a Rakim album. Like, it's like maybe a rock. I don't want to be dismissive, but also like a Rakim tribute album, almost like they're kind of paying homage to the great, right? Like, I don't know. That was my initial reaction to it, and that was my reaction before I knew that many of the songs had been pulled from other places and remixed. So,
well, it's called The Re-Up because most of these songs are being remixed.
Right.
The homage is nice, but you know, getting a Rakim album, Andrew, without much rapping from Rakim.
Yeah, there's not a ton by him on here.
Well, it's like going to a museum and you're going to see Van Gogh,
right?
Monet, Picasso, Dali,
yeah,
Kahlo, Like you're going to see the best
Masters.
of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to go see the Masters,
Mhm.
and nothing personal. Because you don't get that, it kind of ends up feeling like it's like, oh, you feel like you're on TV watching Bob Ross with the
Yeah.
happy little trees.
And there's
It's
nothing
like,
wrong with that, but it's not what you came to see, right?
I love the happy little trees, but that ain't what I pulled up for.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
what I pulled up for. I did not pull up for happy little trees.
Yeah.
I pulled up for Picasso. I pulled up for Monet. I pulled up for Van Gogh.
Yeah.
And so from that perspective, even though I knew that wasn't going to happen,
Right.
what you still want is a moment that
Yep.
makes you say, oh no, that's the guy that's in the conversation to be the greatest MC
Yeah.
of all time.
He still got his fastball. It's still in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still throw 93, 94 like for a pitch or two if he needs to get the out. Well, that's not here on this album.
No, it's not.
But he's almost non-existent on this album.
And that was my reaction too. I was like, my first. I mean, after I had thought that, I was like, does he have the best verse on any of the songs at all? And there are songs that he doesn't have a verse at all. Period.
The best
Now after I went back and listened to it, right?
I mean, the best song in my estimation is International, the Cool G rap joint, because that's the best hook on the album. And I think he might have actually done that beat.
Could be.
And I think that's the most in pocket record. And I think that's the best record. But he's not rapping on there.
Nope.
And the only thing that really makes that record great is that Cool G rap is on there. And he does still sound relatively great.
Yeah, he's got his chops still.
I was about to say, now Cool G rap still has his fastball. It just does
and
not.
I might too. We just don't hear it right now.
Well, I don't think so, because after these two projects, I mean, of essentially other people rapping all over stuff that you produced on the first one, you didn't even do the production really on the second one. That's where I'm questioning the direction. Because it's one thing if you're submitting the last project has a producer, like you're giving us the project like you're the maestro of the project, not the MC of the. Well, on this one, you're not the maestro, so I need you to,
where you at?
I need you to be the master of ceremonies.
Yes.
MC. So, with that being said, it's hard to even rate this project fairly as his album.
Because it's not really a Rakim album in that way, like to me.
And then my summation becomes, well, this feels like swan song type of stuff, and I don't want to see him go out like this. Because that's the part about it that I don't like, is it like his last project needs to be a project of him rapping.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's only like 5 or 6 or 7 songs, like whatever he's got left in the tank, he needs to summons up, in my opinion, and give us something with a little better finality than this, because I don't want this to be it, because this is it just don't feel right for somebody so great.
Right. Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, his greatness. I mean, now in 2025, and as we are fastly approaching 2026, his greatness now is something that gets understated and appreciated, but can never be mistaken or duplicated. And I'll say this, part of what goes on in your mind when you listen to a project like this, if you know your hip hop, is like, oh no, this is the guy that was the furthest ahead of the curve of anybody that's ever existed in rap. So you don't want to hear him, behind the curve, let alone like the place where you feel like he doesn't even maybe belong in the game. You don't want that for somebody like that, Yeah, like this is this is like, you don't want to see Patrick Ewing on the bench at the Supersonics, or Hakeem Olajuwon on the bench at the Rockets. I mean, at the Raptors. Yeah, like it's given that this
because people forget how good they really were when they're watching them like that. If that's your last memory of them,
that's why when people be talking about Mike at the Wizards, I'm like, no, that's a great way to go out. That's 22 points a game and 20 points a game.
Yeah, he was good still, but not. He's not like he was at all.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. He still had nights in those last 2 seasons where he flashed and showed an approximation of himself. If I'm not mistaken, he busted Kobe's ass for about 40 something one night.
Yeah.
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 So like
He
that's what
still had it there. He just couldn't do it every night anymore.
right, but that's what you really want to see out of a Rakim at this point, a Slick Rick, a Cool G Rap, a Big Daddy Kane, a KRS One. You just want to see an approximation of what made people go, "Wow, that's the guy."
Yeah.
And this album doesn't have any of that, and that's what makes it feel disappointing. Bar wise, there's some stellar lyricists and MCs on here. Some of your best of the best, and there's some good stuff going on in here. But even for all of those guys, and there's a slew of them: Ras Kass, Chino,
Sky Zoo's on there, Meth's on there, like
Meth, Sky Zoo, 38. Yeah, like there's a
guys with
slew
some
of
bars.
guys. Oh, there is a plethora of guys that do excellent bar work. But even for those guys, this isn't their best stuff either.
No.
That's the thing about the album. It's like, well, even with all the guest appearances, Crooked Eye, like this wasn't those guys' best stuff. Like, and so this is what makes it hard to rate. Well, if this is an album paying homage, well, I'm going to take issue not only with Rakim not being here enough, but also how the homage was paid. Because if you know the Rakim that I know, and I know all of those guys do.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, they're very well acquainted, as am I. Well, you would have given better verses than this, too. Because this is the guy that made Microphone Fiend and Follow the Leader and Lyrics of Fury and Eric B. is President, I Ain't No Joke, My Melody, I Know You Got Soul, Paid in Full, Don't Sweat the Technique.
It's a long list, man.
Juice, Know the Ledge, Teach the Children, Saga Begins, Get Back. It's been a long time.
It's amazing, yes.
Yeah, Mahogany, In the Ghetto, No Omega. I could go on and on.
Yes.
Like that's the guy I know. So it's like, International was when I heard that guy, but I heard him on a hook, and it's like, oh no, like what bar work? This, like the term, like people understand this. Like my phraseology of bar work and bar seminar, like that's literally a direct Rakim inspiration and reference.
Yeah, he's the guy.
I came up with bar seminar when I was like, probably about 23 years old. But that was like a homage to Rakim. Like he's the guy that even made me think it's like, because he was the first guy that I heard. It's like, oh no, when he raps, it's like a seminar. It's like a bar seminar when he raps. Like you're hearing and like learning stuff like on a few levels, like not just what he's saying, but how he's rapping. The words, the way the words are formed, coming together. Yes, you were actually like being entertained and taught, and you're being taught on a few levels at once. That's what I mean about him being ahead of the curve. Like nobody had ever really hit anybody like that before.
Right.
Like, I didn't really get super acquainted with him until I was, I want to say 15 years old, which means I was probably 6-7 years removed from his prime when I got acquainted with him.
Right.
And he was still ahead when I heard him.
Right. Exactly.
That's like that's the thing about it for my generation that are heads that heard him like early enough and not late. Oh no, he was very much ahead of the curve. Like, I mean, we all know the album that kind of like reset the curve, but up until that point,
that was it.
Yeah, and that was the first thing that was comparable to him in terms of the format, the structure, the entertainment while being taught, the dazzling display of rhymes, the word usage. Yeah. So it is one of those things where you just want so much more as a hip hop listener, as a fan of the culture.
Yeah.
And this just ain't it. Like, I don't know if I could even rate. This is how bad it is from the perspective of rating it. I can't. I know that it's better than the last project.
Yes, that is true, without question.
But I can't think of any succinct reason why it deserves a higher ranking, given all of the things that I just said. You know what I mean?
No. Here's the thing, like, man, I went back and listened again this evening before we came on air, and like it's not an unenjoyable project without context. Like if you don't have the expectation of Ra, you don't have the like if you're just listening to it as a thing, to me it's not bad.
It's
But
rock. There's
exactly
always gonna be
that's the thing.
unairing
That's the thing.
expectations.
That's the thing, right? Like you're grading him, and you should be grading him on a different curve, because what he did was before was some of the best that's ever been done, right? So
How about you going if you're gonna be 88, 89 Kareem and only average 10 points when you used to average 35, well, you need Magic Johnson and James Worthy. They ain't nowhere on here.
yeah,
Well, Cool G Rap's on here. Cool G
you got
Rap's.
one, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not enough. You got, and you have to understand, some of the people that are on this project are deceased, so it does feel dated too because of that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. The meth verse is nice.
It is.
The meth
I
verse.
underlined that one when I was doing notes. Yeah.
Yeah, the meth verse is probably the best guest appearance. And you want to know what I thought of when he made the Black Thought and Roots reference? I immediately thought the Method Man we've seen for about the last 6-7 years now is in direct relationship to that cipher that he was in with Black Thought, where Black Thought just literally went on a run.
Yeah.
With Meth there. And here's the thing about it: when you go back and look at it, Meth was still great. It's just Black Thought had like spazzed out.
He left the building.
He left the building and it went somewhere. And it's rare that you see somebody do that next to the caliber of somebody like a Method Man. But since that happened to Meth, he's been nothing less than breathtaking as an MC, Andrew. Nothing
every time we've seen him, every single time.
Nothing less than stellar. He has not been caught slipping again. And I love that somebody that is as famous and successful and is decorated and lauded and applauded, and he is the front man for the greatest rap crew ever. He is arguably the co-host of arguably rap's greatest duo, definitely rap's funnest duo. He is he is the author of what I feel like is hip hop's best love song ever. Like, he is so decorated and stellar in so many ways. He's a platinum as a group, as an artist, as a duo, singles.
Decorated actor now too, by the way. Yeah.
Decorated, like he Meth don't get enough credit sometimes either. But I say all of that to say we're sitting like the best moment on a Rakim album cannot be Method Man verse.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
I just can't. That's not how this works.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm not sure that the best moment on any of the songs is a Rakim verse. Like,
I mean, International has a moment, except for the fact that there's that Cool G Rap verse, so it's like, oh, and it's still Cool G Rap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that feels awful to say about somebody like Rakim, but like that's what my ear says.
I don't know if it's an awful thing, but I think we do. Okay, so here's part of why I wanted to do the review show with you specifically. The journalistic integrity of it.
Yeah.
Of us unfortunately having to make harsh decisions and like harsh opinions. And you see, and because you're not as well versed and immersed as long as I have been with some of these artists that we review, it allows an unbiased and objective.
I was just thinking that as I was listening
analysis to occur. And guess what? That's what the fuck a review is supposed to be. That's what an actual music review is supposed to be. It's not supposed to have the bias to it. It's supposed to be unbiased and objective. And because you're not as immersed and well versed and didn't grow up in the culture, but have a musical ear and are now knowledgeable, well, that speaks to the integrity. And I just know you as a man, so it's like part of why I'm doing the review with you is about, well, we're going to maintain the integrity of everything that we review.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to say that there was anything personal or emotional involved, because, well, no matter how people may feel about me, you're not going to allow that to occur because of who you are, how you do stuff. And
And
so,
yeah, I am.
so even if
I'm not here to
come up
keep
here,
poop in check. Just to say that I'm gonna say that
no,
out
it's
loud.
not
But
being check thing. It's like, how about this? If I were to come up here and I were to be like, "Yo, Andrew, I think this Rakim is a 4," you'd be like, "Where did you hear that?"
yeah,
You would be like,
exactly. I'm not. Yeah,
right, right,
no, you're gonna have to explain that one to me.
right.
Please.
You're like, hold on, break this down for me because I don't hear a 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean about the integrity. And I think one of the things that I've actually become infamous for in my 5 years in this space is actually for pulling up on people who lack journalistic integrity. How the hell am I going to do a music review now, like an official show that is dedicated to a music review, when I've been pulling up, checking other people about their integrity, their involvement, their respect, their knowledge, and I'm not gonna do those things on.
You got to. You got to. Right. Like that's.
I didn't talk my shit. I gotta walk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is that perspective. I can't give this thing anything higher than a 3. That's why I'm saying I feel like I gave the last one a 3, which makes me feel like maybe I should have gave the last one a 2.5, and I was being biased.
Yeah. I could stand like giving it slightly like 3.25. Like I could stand putting it in that kind of. I could, because I think it's, to me, it. I have notes down here because it relates to both of these albums, to Joey's too. We'll get to that in a minute, but about how you hear things in relation to your expectations of them. Like, because I did not this Raw album is better than I expected it to be. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like otherworldly by any stretch, but like it is. I was expecting two like the last ones, right? And I heard better than that. So I'm okay with 3. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna fight about that. That's probably in that kind of range.
Makes me want a 2.5. The last project. That's all I keep thinking about. It's like, damn, was the last project 2.5? This is
Yeah.
nothing more than
This one is better. This one's better.
I knew from the first beat drop. I'm like, oh, this is much better. And Big
Mhm.
Ghost did a good job, but these are still
Yeah, the
remixes
production's
of
good.
songs. Yeah. The production is the highlight of the album, actually. If we are going to talk about a highlight,
And I think that's might have been what I meant. Like it's enjoyable to listen to, like just as a thing. Like it's. I guess for me, really, it's easier for me to divide because I didn't grow up with Rakim and I didn't grow up in the culture and I didn't grow up with those things. It's easier for me to divide out this is a Rakim album and just what I'm hearing, right? And what I'm hearing is not unenjoyable. You see that double negative there. Like, so
Hey, teacher.
I did it on purpose. So it's,
okay.
But
So
it's right.
So it's just, you just can't remove the expectations from what you heard. It's just so hard. It's literally impossible to do. You can't remove the expectations. You can't.
Yeah.
And so, I hope that what really, really happens is that he comes back with another effort. It's more reflective of the God MC.
I hope so. I would like to see that guy again, hear that guy again, for sure.
That's what we're going for, Andrew. That's what we're going for.
Yeah.
I don't have too much to say because then it's just going to get down a rabbit hole of being just like, how about this? We didn't used to talk about who did the beats on Rakim's album. Like, it used to not even matter.
Yeah.
That's what I mean about when we're talking about the best part of a Rakim album is production. It's like, what world am I living in?
Yeah, it's not supposed to be that way necessarily, right?
It's never been that way. Even when DJ Premier and Pete Rock were doing the beats, it wasn't that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like Clark Kent, Premier, and Pete Rock did a project, and the lyrics were still better than the beats.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Eric B. I mean, like, yeah, all of them are. Yeah, it's not about that.
Large Professor did Let the Rhythm In. The lyrics are still better than the beats. I told you that's one of the 3 best lyrical performances ever recorded by a rap artist.
Mm-hmm.
Still,
I've heard you say that at least a dozen times. Yes.
Because it's true to this day. It's one of the three
Still
best lyrical.
in 2025.
2025 to this day. The album came out in 1991, if memory serves. It is still one of the three best lyrical performances ever recorded on record. Book that every single time. Every single time. There's Illmatic. There's Life After Death. There's Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. Not Illmatic, I'm sorry. It was written. It was written, Life After Death. Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. Those are the best three mic performances in the end to end. Totality. End to end. End to end. Mm-hmm. We can get to the Joey now.
Okay. Yeah. Where do you want to get into that? Like,
you can kick that off too, because I want to hear your thoughts about this more than I want to do about Rakim. Because actually, I wasn't expecting our thoughts about I was expecting you to enjoy the Rakim more than you just kind of like did actually, because of the music.
I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was like, world beating, right? Like it was a fun. It is more enjoyable to listen to than I expected it to be. That's damning with faint praise, probably, but like,
we're existing in two different worlds from that perspective. But like I said, man, Monet, Van Gogh, Dali, Kahlo, and getting Bob Ross.
Yeah, and we love Bob Ross, but right,
put some mountains right here. No, that's not what I came for.
Happy little trees. Okay, so I have a very little context for Joey. Like, I followed along this spring summer with the West Coast East Coast battle thing that he did, and I listened to the freestyle he did with Absol, and was it Big Sean was the other one, right, in the freestyle. And I was impressed by his lyricism, but like I followed along that, but I don't have any context about him beyond that. But so I was impressed with those efforts, like the battle efforts and the freestyle efforts. I thought they were really, really, really good. This album was very, very, very not what I expected coming from those sources. If that was my context for him, and the album is not what I expected. The first time I heard it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, and not in a bad way, just like I was.
Are you sure?
It was not what I expected. Not in a bad way. It was just I was and I got halfway in, and so when I came back through it again, the second listen was actually a whole lot better. And it's gotten better the more times I've listened to it, honestly. To me, it makes sense, I think, that I enjoyed the project because a lot of it's in the JID-ish kind of lane to my ear. I mean, it's not, which is not what I expected from Brooklyn. Like,
he precedes him by quite some time, but
he does.
Keep going. Yes.
Been
around for
like the battle that we heard was this April, May, like earlier this year.
Feels springish.
Yeah, springish is kind of where my brain is. Was like,
can we footnote something right quick? Because I just want to footnote the fact that we kind of even can't recall when exactly it took place, which speaks to the lack of noteworthiness and notoriety that it truly garnered in hindsight. Keep going.
So, like, as I remember it anyway, I wasn't like super into like the back and forth, the however many people got involved and whatever. I wasn't like following it very closely, but my memory of it is like holding down the East Coast, Brooklyn, I'll take on anyone kind of battle, that kind of idea, right? And this album was a lot of, especially near the end, was like I've been to therapy, I'm trying to be a better man kind of stuff, which I really enjoy personally. I know the face you're making indicates that most classical hip hop fans would not necessarily enjoy that. I personally think it's cool as hell, but like it's again not what I expected from him and what I expected from the album.
What is this Ice Cube's War and Peace? Like you went and I declare war in the springtime, and now it's like early fall, and like now you want to like. I don't know how Bob Ross keeps making this episode, but now we're with the happy little man. It's just I declare war. It wasn't go fish. It was I declare war.
So I'm not tripping, right? Like I've got an accurate read of what's going on. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay, like, and like And like I dig it. I do. I like it. But like I understand that it's not everybody's cup of tea. And it's certainly not, I've said it like 17 times already, but it's not what I expected from him in this particular thing.
The project is good.
See?
It's a good project from a good artist.
Mhm.
But he's been boasting and bragging like a great artist
Yeah.
with an impending great project.
Mm.
And I think this is just one of those things where it's kind of a reminder. When someone shows you who they are, you should believe them.
Making an album is a very hard thing to do.
Exceedingly so.
Which is why that's how we rate them, because it's the hardest thing to do.
In the scope of music, I think short of being a master of literally multiple instruments, and by multiple instruments I mean 5 or more.
Right.
Like the way you would speak multiple languages. When I be talking multiple languages, like no, I'm speaking 4, 5 languages. You know what I'm saying? Like that's different. Like outside of that, which is why I'm such a big Prince fan, by the way.
I was wondering when his name was coming up. He's the obvious one, right?
Right. But outside of pulling off that type of feat, which I do believe is actual genius, because I do look at it like, oh no, that's literally teaching yourself to learn different melodies and different ways to work different instruments is the equivalent of learning a whole new language, especially if you just started with something like a piano or guitar, but then you can go get the drums and the xylophone, the bongos, motherfucking tambourine.
Shout out Dave Grohl too while we're at it. Carry on.
Dave Grohl too, tambourine. But when you can do stuff like that, I think that's the most genius thing. But I think the second hardest thing is making a great album. Yeah, like mastering multiple instruments, like more than 4, and then making a great album. Those are the hardest things to do, and so it's not easy. That's why you gotta be careful about the shit that you talk. And also, too, I think this album, truthfully, is more reflective of who he's consistently been as an artist. This kind of falls more in line with what he gives and what you get. I wouldn't have put this above the board of anything that he's done before. And even some of the themes that are explored, you know, he like Drake and Cudi and Kendrick and Cole, they come from that 808s and Heartbreak and Yeezus and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy inspired Kanye.
Right.
And so you're gonna probably hear that reflect more musically, album wise, than you are in real time when he's, you know, putting Brooklyn and the East Coast on his back, supposedly.
Right.
You know, and really the fact of the matter is that, and this is what I mean, well, the West is just running shit right now, and you need to accept it. It's happened before. See, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Ice Cube, and Tupac Shakur, they literally had shit on lock for like about 5 years.
Yeah.
So let's not act like this hasn't happened to the East Coast before. Matter of fact, it happened to the East Coast when they had much better MCs walking around. Yeah. So one of these things people need to understand too is that, you know, some of this stuff is just cyclical at this point. Hip hop's been around long enough, thank God, and I think it's a beautiful thing that it is cyclical and it does transfer from region to region, and everybody kind of like gets their moment and gets their time. You know?
Yeah. And that's fine.
So, yeah, I think it's fine. But this album is just good. There's nothing on here that makes me go, that's the guy that's representing the East Coast. Because like you said, most of the material doesn't even sound, dare I say,
not even particularly the song called BK's Finest doesn't really sound like.
I did thoroughly enjoy that record. I do.
I did too. That's a great song. I love it, but it also doesn't like.
How about this? The greatness of a song like that is what makes this album good, because the other moments, some of the moments on there. Okay, so this is what I mean about all of these guys being like some sort of an approximation to Kanye. Not Cole and Kendrick just as much, because they have created their own lane and crafted their own. But that that inner speaking voice from just a regular guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kanye is the master at that because his black thoughts are some of the blackest, darkest thoughts that we've ever heard recording on record. He has an honesty and a humor and a poignant manner about him, the early versions of him. And it's just like, if you don't have that when you get in that bag, it's going to come up short because he's the bar.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do.
Right. It's like,
It's,
you know.
I mean, I have the poetry kind of frame of reference here, and narrating your inner thoughts, but also making them interesting and compelling is a hard thing to do. Narrating your inner thoughts is not that hard to do, but like making it a compelling and interesting piece of art is
So
remarkably difficult.
So nobody's done that better than Kanye in rap because he says the thing. This is what I mean about them being like true black dark thoughts. Like the thing that made me connect to him the most as an artist when I first heard him
Mhm.
was when he was on Spaceship, and I think he said, "If my manager does something again, I will be assaulting him after I show it in the register up." You know, he was saying the things that you think. You know what I'm saying? Like when
Yeah.
your boss is pissing you off, but he made it funny. And I'm like, oh, he gets it. He
Yeah.
knows what the everyday guy is really thinking and feeling. He's just special in like his ability to
Right.
express it. He very much does a lot of what Scarface does actually, and what DMX and what Tupac do. He pulls something out of you. He
Right.
just pulls it from a more of a normal guy's perspective. These
Right.
other guys have that. So when they do that, the record can be good, but it's not going to be that.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
that's what he said. If my manager insults me again, I will be assaulting him. That's what he said. Yeah.
And he says it kind of in a sing-songy kind of way, so it comes off less threatening and more jokey, but also like
Hmm.
there's a little bite to it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's doing a lot of things
Yeah.
at once.
Hmm.
It's part of what makes him a great MC outside of his production genius. When you don't have that and you do that because he's already done that and done it better than anybody else, it does feel like a little hollow is not the word, but I just don't know if Joey's crafted out enough of his own niche
Hmm.
that he really separates himself to maybe the way his talent speaks to it. And that's what I mean when somebody shows you who you are, you should believe them. And so he's somebody that maybe when he came out could probably get you 20, 22 points just off his talent and his athleticism
Yeah.
alone, but never really maybe developed his game. It
Mm.
never became much more than that. And so that's kind of what you're going to get. And so my expectations weren't high for this album because I've never been super big on him and I've never looked at him
Mhm.
as top five for his generation.
Okay.
And maybe not even top 10.
Okay.
So some of the hoopla and some of the stir that he did create earlier this year did have a hip hop fan like me thinking like, well, I hope he best delivers the best project of his career and really makes me a fan. And I don't know if this is that. So,
Yeah.
and I haven't read any reviews on it. I don't know what type of reviews
I've
it's
not
getting.
read any reviews, anything that anybody else's. I try really, really hard before we do the show not to read other people's reviews of it. I will read like, I mean, the information I read, like I said about Rakim, was just like some context for like where the songs came from and that kind of thing. So it's not really this is good, this is bad, this is indifferent. This is just having some factual research to go along with what's going on. So
Like I think maybe for me, I think his the closest comparative analysis I could probably provide would be Big Sean. And I
mhm.
just think about when Big Sean made Detroit 2, which was a really good album. I believe I gave it a 4. I don't find this album to be like anywhere as good as like something like that.
Yeah.
And Big Sean is somebody that is barely top 5 for this era. That's what I mean. It's like, well, I mean, Sean is more accomplished, bigger records, better albums, better guest appearances, more hits. more sales. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
I was hoping that this project for Joey would be something where maybe you could step more to the forefront, but it's not that, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And he's got other talents and other gifts too, but he did kind of seem to like recommit himself to rap. And as you can hear from some of his cypher stuff, he is an extremely talented
Yeah.
individual. That does not necessarily always translate to song making and album making. You know?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard. Like there's so many people with talent, and then you ask them, it's like, okay, give me about 9, 10, 11 songs. I'm gonna give you about 2 or 3 guest appearances. Now go.
That's hard to do, man. It's hard to do. And obviously both of us have made albums before. I've not made hip hop albums, obviously, but both of us have made albums before. It's not an easy thing.
I'll tell you. You know this, Andrew. Writing for me has always been fairly easy. I literally have written thousands of songs, so it's never
Yeah.
really been about writing the song. I've written multiple versions of songs to multiple tracks, like multiple times. Like there are 3 and
Right.
4, 5 recordings of some of my sessions over the same beat, saying all types of different stuff. You know, but that's part of what makes it so hard. Like you can have thousands of songs if they're not the right songs, if you don't put those right songs together, and if it doesn't create something that creates a moment, there are so many factors that go into it. There's so many intangible things that go into it.
Yeah.
The tangible thing that you can do is just try to do it to the best of your ability, and it does feel like this album is that, but you know, 3.5.
Yeah. I was doing a 3.7, like, but yeah, I mean, in that kind of area. But I mean, but it's not above a 4 to me. Like now, I
I
do
can't.
think the album. I would put the album cover as an entry into the album of the year or album cover of the year thing too. I really like that one. I mean, it's not better than Freddie's, obviously, but like I would put it in that conversation to me. Like I like that style of art.
I enjoyed it. It wasn't stellar to me.
Yeah. So that's the design. That's the thing that jumped out at me the most. And like I said, also the record has gotten better the more times I've listened to it too.
It has. I did
It's
enjoy.
grown on me.
I did enjoy the intro. I liked that he started off the album by himself.
I do too.
I like the West Side track. It does feel like there is some Griselda influence to try to make it sound New Yorkish on this album. I feel like everybody's trying to do that. That's another reason why I was going to juxtapose the Rakim thing, because Rakim just did the Big Ghost LTD thing, just Griselda affiliate, and Joey just did the outright Griselda thing. It's like, no, I'm getting some Griselda motherfuckers on my album, give it some of that New York sound. But even with doing that, it still doesn't come off. Like, for somebody that was just waving the flag, I was just expecting a little bit more of an East Coast product.
Yeah. Does Joey have the best verse on his album?
I'm gonna check again. I don't want to do that to him.
Yeah.
Might have had.
I'm not. That was not intended to be a leading question because we already talked about Raw not. So I just want to see where we are with this one too.
I'm gonna go listen again. Joey had some moments on here.
He did have some good verses. Like I don't want to diminish that at all. But
literally just felt like the end of the album. I was like, I literally said to myself, I said, here we go with this Mr. Morale and reflection.
I was wondering as I was listening to this album how long it was going to be. It is at 43 minutes and 50 seconds. How long it was going to be before Coop says some shit about Mr. Morale?
You knew it was coming. You knew the last 3 tracks.
I was like,
you knew,
oh God,
like,
here we go.
If knows me and heard the last 3 tracks of this album and knows me is like, oh, he's going to say something. Like,
yeah,
he's about
exactly.
Like, no, like, people. Okay, so you want to take people to therapy, like, you still have to entertain them. Like a record like Damien by DMX off It's Dark and Hell is Hot is more impactful than all these little inner reflection records these dudes is doing. That's what I'm saying. Where's my guardian angel? I need one. Wish I had one. I'm right here, shorty. And I'm gonna hold you down. You wanna fuck all these bitches? I'm gonna show you how. See me? He's telling you about what's going on inside his mind. it's just wildly entertaining. He's literally even doing voice changes for you to make it more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, no, don't be in the flute with Andre 3000 in the mountains.
No.
Quote Freddie Gibbs. It still has the album of the year in my humble estimation.
Yeah. Top 5, yes, for sure. Top 3.
You want to know? You want to know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
You know where I get in my humble estimation from? From one of the worst bosses I ever had. He used to say that. He used to say that to me because he used to think I was cocky. But he was just as cocky as me, if not more so. That's why he couldn't stand me. And so he'd be like, "Well, Ahmad, in my humble estimation," and I'd be like, "Oh, you got humble estimation."
Your eyes be rolled all the way back in your head. Yes, I got it. Your eyes even rolled back in your head just now when you were recounting it 25 or 30
I'm
years
recalling
later.
the first time yeah, humble estimation. But I was like, but it's one of those things too. Oh no, I know how to take the best parts of people, and I was like, that might be the slickest and smoothest thing he ever said. It must sound much better coming out of my mouth. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Before we get out of here, I do want to say one of my disappointments of this record was to see Rhapsody's name on one of the track lists and have her not do a verse or not get a verse on there. Like,
That's how
I mean,
I
the
feel
hook was
about the whole
good.
Rakim
The hook was
album.
good. I enjoyed the hook, but also,
How can you say that?
I want some bars from her.
How can you say that when we just got a Rakim album with no Rakim rap?
I was disappointed, man. I was disappointed. Because I mean, we've had this conversation. I don't know that did we ever talk about Rhapsody? You and I mean, I know you and I have talked about Rhapsody many times. I don't know that you and I
What
ever
do you
talked on air about her.
No,
But
never on air about Rhapsody. Come on, let's wax poetic
I
about Rhapsody.
love that album. I love the I can't remember what it's called now.
Which one?
Please, the most recent one.
Please don't cry.
Yeah, the Please I remembered, but I couldn't remember the rest of it. That, I mean, my tagline for that has always been, when I've talked to you about it, that's the album that Mr. Morale wishes that it was. Like
That's what I'm
she
saying.
accomplished what he was trying to do. Like,
Yes.
and that if
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar had made that album, they would be talking about it as the album of the decade. That's what I believe I said about Please Don't Cry.
Look here. If Mr. Morale would have been what Please Don't Cry is, he wouldn't even never even release GNX, and there'd be no beat because that album would still be in circulation. They'd be treating it like Black Thriller.
Yep. And Please Don't Cry is an incredible record. Like, it's
I concur. I echo those sentiments. She doesn't get enough credit sometime. Is she your favorite MC of the female variety currently?
Currently, yeah, probably, yeah.
Are you acquainted with
we have talked about Doechii on air. I enjoy her stuff. I mean, I guess we can't really call Lauryn Hill currently, because she's not like album-ish. No, so like,
where's the rap out?
Exactly. That's the point. So like, we've talked about this too. Like, Lauren is in the Andre 3000 category. Like, she has the chops, but hasn't done the thing. So like, I mean, she again, like with the Nas, like they talked about on the King's Disease episode, like, she pops up every once in a while and she's still got the chops. She's still got it, but she's not made a hip hop album that she's happy with, I believe, is what she has said.
Had she made rap albums? I believe she made rap albums.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we would be talking about her in the same vein that we do talk about Nas and Jay-Z and Biggie.
I agree. She is
and that would have created I believe a paradigm shift in women's hip hop music that was even bigger than the impact that she created with the Miseducation. That's how, yeah.
She is that good.
No, I mean, as far as the talent goes, I mean, she's arguably the greatest talent of her generation.
I can't argue with that. Yeah.
She's that serious. It's that serious.
Yeah.
Like,
we're getting way off subject here, but also, like, we did about a year ago a series of episodes on Mirror Music about recasting the Grammys, like the Grammy Awards for like when the ones that the Grammys messed up or whatever. And in my notes for is 98 or 9, I think, whatever year that would have been, I was like, there's no point in talking about
98.
there's no point in talking about anything but miseducation. Like that was the note. Like there's nothing else even close. Like
You brushed all the crumbs off the table. Yeah.
So.
She liked that. Yeah, I mean, like literally somebody that can like sing with Erykah Badu but rap with Nas. Like
That's a rare gift.
Like like at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously Rhapsody is not that. I mean, because nobody is. But that's no disrespect to Rhapsody at all. Like that's like saying nobody's Michael Jordan. Like, yeah, sure, but anyway, that's a long sidebar way of saying I was disappointed I didn't get to hear Rhapsody rap on the album. Like when I saw her name on there, I was like, because I didn't see her name until I listened to it once through. I was like, I don't think I heard her. And then I went back and listened to the song. I was like, okay, there she's singing, and the hook is great. I like it, but it's not what I wanted. Yeah, it's not what I wanted.
To quote the Rolling Stones as we get out of here, you can't always get what you want.
Yeah.
No. This has been cool. This has been fun.
This has been a lot of fun.
Good to be back at it.
It is good. We'll try to do some more of these. Ideally, we're going to drop these Friday night or do shows Friday night. I mean, what kind of what we talked about.
Well, I mean, Mass Appeal still has their rollout going on coming soon, so we're definitely covering those projects on Friday nights. So I know Mob's about to drop. I know there's a big
De La coming somewhere too.
Yeah, the Nas Cream thing is obviously
in the next month or two. Yeah,
thing of all the things. I mean, I'm imagining that that's how the rollout's going to end, so I'm not necessarily expecting to see that project until like Halloweenish. Probably.
Yeah, that mid-October to Halloween would be my guess of it.
Well, I mean, if that's going to be the grand finale of the rollout, and it should be.
Yeah. Again, I want to say this really clearly. This is not based on us, or at least me, having any inside information about this at all. This is just speculating based on what calendars he's publicized and his touring schedule and so forth and so on.
I don't have any information. I actually made my bones in this by actually just, inherently being good in forecasting. So I would imagine that, we're about to get a slew of projects in the next 8 weeks. And with us being in the middle of September, that would kind of align
with the 4th.
Yeah. So that's just, doing this a while and just looking at how the rollout is, because it's like they didn't keep the whole rollout going like week to week to week. They have been kind of like spacing it out and letting it breathe. And I kind of like that too.
Which is good. They should. Yeah. I mean, they obviously know what they're doing. So we're saying Ra's around 3, and we're saying Joey's 3.5, 3, 6, 7, like in that kind of area. Is that where we landed?
I'm gonna listen to the Joey a few more times, and I'll see if I can take it up to your level. But I didn't hear anything more.
Yeah, really. Like I said, the first thing I said about it was the first time I heard it, I was like, but it has gotten better the more times that I've listened to it. It has. So, but it's also not something that I probably am going to spend a lot of time coming back to either. No disrespect, but
no disrespect, you can't put the East Coast on your back with a project like that either.
I can't argue with that.
Right. You can't be saying I got the East Coast on my back and I got the East, and we just do that and the other, and then this project's just like, oh, the project's okay. He doesn't have enough cachet for this project just to be okay.
Yeah.
He's not Kendrick. He's not Cole. He's not Drake.
Yeah. He's only 30. He's got time, right? Hypothetically. So.
Man, shit happens fast.
Mm-hmm.
Happens fast.
It does. All right.
Yeah, man. Get some rest.
This has been the review. Thanks for hanging out with us, and tell us in the comments whether you think we're out of our minds or how incredibly right we are. There's also a new thing on YouTube, actually, that's called Hype. You'll see it below the video in the comments or by the comments. And if that's kind of like super chat without any money, but it also like pumps up the algorithm in YouTube. So if you want to hit that for us, that would be great. Like and share and subscribe and comment and all the other things too. And so thanks for hanging out, guys. Peace out.
Gone.